In our conversation and focus on safety, going now a little bit different kind of animal safety to, of course, holiday safety, especially when it comes to fire hazards that come along with everything from the type of tree we put up to the lights and everything else in between. Our reporter, Katie, is joining us now with a look at, well, what all we can expect.
Hey Hannah, I'm here outside of Station 1 in Longview where I just had a conversation with the fire marshal here, Marcus Delaney, and I got to learn a little bit more about how to keep your home safe during these Christmas seasons. One of the big things to note is that what's different about this time of year compared to other times of year? Why are we more at risk right now? Well, during the Christmas season and winter in general, there's just more out. For example, there's more candles out, there's more fireplaces being lit. Whenever you think of your Christmas tree, there's presents underneath it, there's tissue paper, there's just a lot of things that could pose as a problem as we move along into these Christmas celebrations. So here's what I want to start off with. We got a couple of heads up for how to make sure you're safe before you even put the decorations up. So here's what I want to show you. Whenever you get your Christmas lights from the store and you're thinking, hey, I want to decorate the front of my house with this, you'll want to check the front of the box before you even buy those lights and see where they should be put. So on this one right here, it says indoor outdoor, which means they are good for indoor or outdoor. There are some lights that are only made for indoor that don't hold up well outside. They don't hold up well with the weather, with the rain, with the snow, with anything that could bother it. It's just not the place for it. So you're going to want to make sure you're buying lights that have the correct location listed at the top for what you plan on using them for. So these are indoor, outdoor, they're good to go. Whenever you're checking your lights before you're putting them up, let's say these are lights that you've had for a while, you're going to want to make sure that the light and the wire are all intact, nothing's frayed, nothing's kind of chipped off. You're going to want to make sure those bulbs are still on there. There's no exposed wires or anything like that that could create a problem once they're up on the tree or up on the house. So really just kind of take an extra minute or two to look through your lights and make sure that they are all intact, because let's face it, who wants to put lights on a Christmas tree only to realize they don't work? So might as well also make sure that you're going to be safe on top of that. So just take that extra step to really take into account what is going on your house or on your tree. And then the last thing is that whenever you do have things like trees up in your house or in your area, you're going to want to make sure that they are at least, all decorations really, are at least 3 feet away from any open type of heat source. So you're going to want to make sure whenever you put your tree out, even though it might look really nice next to the fireplace, you're going to want to make sure there's enough distance in between the tree and that fireplace so that nothing kind of sparks anything that would be a problem here, because the National Fire Protection Association says they respond to over 800 calls each year from fires that start in a home based off of a Christmas decoration. So you don't want to be part of that statistic. You're going to want to make sure that you are covering your bases. Also, the fire marshal recommends that you really water your tree regularly if you have a real one. We've all seen the Griswolds where the tree goes up like that, and nobody wants that in their home. So you're going to want to make sure that you're watering the tree about every day is what was recommended, and that it's not near any open heat source. And then yeah, and also on top of that, since we're talking about the Griswolds, let's go ahead and throw in there that example of when Clark Griswold plugs in the lights and there's like 12 different lights into that one outlet. You don't want to do that. If you've got a major appliance like a refrigerator or something like that, you're going to only want to have one plug in that outlet. So just kind of be mindful of that. Even if you think, oh, it'll be okay for this season, you're going to want to make sure that you don't overload those sockets.
Katie, that is my favorite Christmas movie. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is my go-to every single year. I love that you brought that up. But yes, it's a
It's so
great
good.
example of what not to do when it comes to the holidays, from
Exactly.
the tree going up in flames to all of the outlets. It's a great example. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention, just keeping it on our top of mind as we're preparing for the holidays. Thank you so much, Katie.
Of
Katie
course.
Parker
Yeah.
reporting for us. Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank you.